Hello, and welcome back. Hello, how is everyone doing? I hope you're all doing well. Today, Sunday. Hey, Gman. Did I say Gman? Sorry. We're going to be talking about Gman. Again, our favorite Christian. Mark Caesar, Gman, pull my finger. Listen. I'm so sorry. I know some of you are not so keen on the subject, but yeah, look out for number one says, I'll be there. I'm just uploading a 5-minute video to my channel. Oh, fantastic. Loobis, I'm going to be using one or two of your videos because you have done a really great compilation. So Loobis, thank you for doing it. Thank you for putting together the compilation. Look out for number one says, I'm already pissed, especially coming from that retard. Yes, it is a subject that would set you off, definitely, especially if you're not trying to support slavery in the Bible. No one should, in my opinion. No one should. And there's quite a few videos, but we will get started. And look out for number one. Let me know when you're ready. Right. Just 1 second, guys. Oh, gosh. Okay. So we'll go to the very first video, and this is on the subject of slavery. So 1 second, guys. Let me share. Hello, Unit 666. Hello. Let's share this here. Okay, guys, this is our dear friend Gman on the subject of slavery. Guys, if you thought he was weird, God, this guy is recording himself whilst on a bike talking about slavery. I'm going to speed this up. He says he's on a woman's bike. Guys, a lady's bike. I don't. Anyways, let's start.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Gman versus Black Hebrew Israelites. I know I haven't uploaded nothing in this channel in a while, but I figured today is, a good time to talk about something on here while I'm riding home. Hold on a minute. A lot of you Hebrew Israelites believe that the white man is going to be your slave in the kingdom. How you doing? I'll repeat this again. A lot of you people believe that the white man is going to be your slave in the kingdom, and I've been thinking about this for a little bit. And I figured that I make a YouTube video, think out loud a little bit. Let's say you guys are right. I'm going to show you why you're never going to get justice this way, if this is what you're hoping for. All right? First and foremost, let's talk about the transatlantic slave trade and all of the tragedies and everything that happened during the transatlantic slave trade. Number one, our women were raped. They were ravished by the slave owners, forced to do things that no decent human being would force another human being to do.
So Gman has a favorite pastime, and that is going to engage with the Hebrew Israelites. And so these Hebrew Israelites have some very weird views they I think they believe that black people will one day rule the world, and all white people would be subject to black people. All the black men will have the chance to dominate. I really do not understand the black Hebrew Israelites and what they've got going on. But G-Man, because G-Man thinks his version of Christianity is the one and only true path, and anything else is absolutely wrong. So he engages with atheists and the black Hebrew Israelites. So these people, so G-Man is going to try and school them on the subject of slavery. Guys, G-Man on his bike, looking like this, is going to, I'm not trying to put him down for his looks, but who is going to listen to this guys? Okay, let me ask you guys in the question. You see somebody like this trying to teach you something. How many of you are going to listen? How many are going to listen? He says, G-Man's favorite pastime is being a hypocrite. We are right. Yes. Okay, I would put the invite link here. Why not? So look up for number one if you want to join, or anyone. Why not? Let's So, Steve McGray manager, how are you doing today? Hello, David E. Taylor. Hello. So the black Hebrew Israelites are pretty simple. They believe that they are the true Jews, and their history and identity was stolen from them by the white Jews. I honestly do not understand how the black people become Jews. That might be possible. I don't know, because they say being Jewish is a race. That's one subject I put my hands up. I don't understand any of that. I really don't. But they are, in my opinion, are a violent group of people. We got them here. When you go to the shops, when I go to Birmingham, they're outside the shops, and my goodness, they're so loud and so the words that come from their mouth, goodness, very, very vile, very vile. I don't know how. I really don't know. Okay, so let's hear what G-Man has to say on his girl's bike.
Secondly, when they had their children were still slaves. They were still slaves, and they still didn't have any rights. They had to work 7 days a week without pay, and they were treated horribly. If the owner so wanted to, he could have whipped them for nothing simply because he could, because they was his private property. Okay, just give me a second here, guys. Hold on, because my brakes are not all like brakes. Hold on a minute. And I really should have this in my other hand here, so give me a second here. I want to pull up this bridge. Give me a second here. One second, guys. I'll get back to my thing here. I gotta make sure I got this thing held pretty good. I don't want to get in no accident out here. Okay, so just give me a second here. All right. Okay, so anyway, let's get back to our thought.
By the way, guys, this guy has been in an accident with 4 different cars. 4 different cars have run into G-Man. Is it 4 or 3? You would think that this Christian brother would at least get to the comfort of his home, sit down and address the black Hebrew Israelites. But look at him. He would rather be live streaming while riding a bike. I've never seen this before. Never seen anyone do this. I get it. Some people might have it on there just to they might have cameras to have a look at the view as they're cycling. We're not live streaming. Has he not got a home? Has he not got the well, he's got the residence he bought for $1, which his friends have moved back. This is just madness. Oh, Oscar's here. Okay, hello. Hey,
Hello.
hello. Gosh, thank you for joining in on the madness. How is your Sunday going?
Wicked. I just did a small video. That's not here nor there. But
Okay.
let's entertain ourselves with this idiot.
This morning I was watching you on the Raging Atheist.
Oh Jesus, yeah.
You were there, definitely. I saw you. You were there. Yes. Okay, so David E. Taylor says, "Let me talk to Gman." Listen, I would not advise that you do that because Gman is not one for engaging in honest conversations.
No.
He's not one that you can have a decent conversation. He will overtalk you. He will misinterpret everything you say. Trust me, you will leave that conversation more frustrated than you went in. It's better to just review his videos, just to have a look at the madness that goes on here. Hey, look at the tree. Says some people are culturally Jewish and some are religiously Jewish and some are both. Okay. Right. Guys, I'm going to ask a very naive question. How do Black people, I'm just going to use the US for example. So Black people who descendants of slaves who are now over there. How did they then become Jews? How is it possible that these people over there, I've heard a couple of them saying, "Oh, I'm from the tribe of," I don't know. I think there are 12 tribes altogether in the Jewish tribes. And I've heard them saying, "I'm from such and such tribe." How did they know what Jewish tribe they belong to? How is that even possible? Do you know, Oscar?
No, but they could do a DNA. I mean, technically, could it be possible? Yes, right. It depends on the DNA of the person or how strong the DNA of the woman is, right? To have that, because there's been cases where a black child came from two white people, but the ancestry of their wife were mulatto, then black, and blah 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 blah, right? So it is possible, right?
It is.
So now I think it's a belief system rather than a heritage. Right.
Okay.
That's what I think they are coming from, which is fine. Whatever, you can believe whatever you want. That doesn't make it true. But
a group of them have moved to Israel. A group of them have moved there. They're in there, and it looks like they want to. Maybe they're planning a time when they will take over Israel. I honestly don't know. That's something I think we should get into at some point. Look, Gman has been hit by 4 different cars. This guy, look at him, live streaming on a bike, no helmets, no protective clothing. Well, okay, you know what? Let me not speak. Let me just. Since you would think that you would think that God would protect him. Okay, I need to hear what exactly his advice is to the Black Hebrew Israel. Don't forget, this is a man who defends slavery in Christianity. So I'm curious to know what his advice is to these people. Right, let's hear Gman.
So again, you can be whipped for anything. And did you know that you ran away from your masters? You ran away from the plantations, right? You ran away from them. When they caught you, they could cut your foot off, they can cut your toes off, they can whip you. They can do a bunch of different things if you ran away from your master during the transatlantic slave trade. Give me a second here, guys. Hold on. I'm I'm in a very narrow road. I gotta focus on what I'm doing and do the YouTube video at the same time, and it's not easy. And I'm on this bike, so just give me a second. Hold on. So anyway, yeah. So you had no rights when you was a slave during the transatlantic slave trade. You had no rights. You did what your master told you to do, or they beat you, or they broke you. And then I know how you Hebrew Israelites feel about these names that they gave us. A lot of your government names, your last names, are probably from your slave owner in history or whatever. You know what I mean? Unless you got your name another way or whatever. Like my last name sounds like it came from one of those people. But
well, hold on.
I know a lot of y'all last names would identify you. Or almost fell.
It came from those people. That's the disgust that he's got for those unfortunately people that suffer slavery. Listen, don't get me going. Just carry on. It's disgusting, human.
There's a lot of things that
those people.
Yeah, those people. Yes, indeed.
Your last name, I literally almost fell off this bike, guys. I would have got the last of the lights on.
Oh, God.
Gotta focus on what I'm doing here.
No shit.
Yeah, so.
He literally.
Yeah, your last name pretty much identified you with whoever depending how far your family tree goes and whoever your slave was. But the point of the matter is that the slaves during the transatlantic slave trade were treated cruelly. They were not treated with any dignity or any respect.
Okay, look out for number one. You drive trucks for a living, right?
Yes.
Is there any YouTube video that could be ever so important for you to record that you will record it while you're driving?
Of course not. But no, 100% no. Recently, the government has implemented some new rules, new traffic compliances, where because of this stupid reason, right, riders or cycle riders are less concentrated on the road conditions, on the road itself and traffic, right? So they zigzag along the path or whatever in the road, right, creating themselves a potential danger, right? So we have to reduce the speed, right, to less than what they are doing and create a distance, right, to compensate for their stupidity, right? We always try and think ahead what the idiot's going to do in a given situation.
One second, Oscar. Unit 666, no, it does not require a computer to join. Just click the link. You can use your phone, and you don't have to turn on your camera if you want to join. But just make sure, because I know sometimes you've said that your phone, sometimes the battery thing. So I've heard you say you need to go charge your phone. Just make sure you've got a decent charge, because what's the name? StreamYard, when you're on stream, for some reason on your phone, your battery just goes really quick. So yes, you can join in the conversation on any device, to be honest, as long as you click the link. And hello, Robert D. Phillips and Robin D. Phillips and Robert X. Oh, sorry guys, I'm so sorry. What a clown. Indeed, what a clown. Right, sorry about that, Oscar.
No, it's okay.
Please, you carry on.
The reason the consumption of the battery for mobile units is because of the camera, right?
Right, okay.
Right. So, and also different. When you use the camera, you use almost 90% of the resources of the actual mobile unit, right? So it's a heavy toll, right? So, well, that's not here nor there, but yeah, that was the thing. But at the end of the day, bottom line is that as drivers or as the professional driver with the HGV drivers, had to be extremely careful for individuals like this guy, because I've seen them jumping lights, i.e. the red light, talking on mobile, being distracted, right, one-handed, like this idiot is doing, right? He does not have the need to look at their mobile technically, right? Let's entertain that he's confident whatever he do. I think it's wrong, right? But even if he wants to do that, right, he could put it in his pocket or use a lapel mic, right, and talk freely, right, and he's in control of the situation because he's always looking ahead. We don't need to see him.
No, for me, this subject, what he's trying to record, can wait until he gets home.
Or he can be stationary.
Oh, he can exactly.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Stop somewhere.
It doesn't need to ride per se, right? But if he needs an excuse, right, he can be fully control of the bicycle, which is a fucking shit bicycle anyway, right? I don't.
He's going to tell us. Just you wait. He's going to tell us what kind of bike he's riding in a minute. Just hold on. You'll hear him.
Okay. No,
And guys, please do not try this at home.
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
BGTV's here. Hey, he says he's invincible when it comes to cars. 4 cars already. I mean, look at this. Looking at here, you can tell why. And how are you doing, BGTV? I hope you're feeling better. I hear you were you in a car accident, BGTV? Please let me know, and hope you're feeling better. And how is the move going? Hope you're have you finally moved or still in the process of moving? Yeah, so BGTV is one person who covers Gman on YouTube, and I really enjoy his live streams when he does his Gman reviews.
I have to look up for him.
Yes, you were in a car accident. Was it the new car as well? Was it the new car? Yes, I was in a car accident. I feel better. I hope it wasn't G-Man. You didn't come in contact with G-Man. And I'm glad to hear that you feel better, BGTV. That's great. Juad, hello, Juad. Yes, hello. Hello, Juad. Okay, let's go. This guy, unfortunately, it's the new car. Oh, no. Listen, this BGTV just recently bought I don't know. I didn't see the car, but from what you had said, it looks like it must have been a decent car. And he's been in an accident in the car. Oh gosh, so sorry to hear that. So sorry.
Comment on Robert X. He says he
Robert X can't join as I don't want my face on YouTube. Maybe somewhere. No worries, Robert X. You're always very supportive, especially reminding people to thumbs up, hit the subscribe and all that. So thank you, Robert. Absolutely. Okay, let's go and hear the rest of this this guy video. It was a Ford Mustang. Oh, look at that. It's a 2021 Ford Mustang GT. Is it a write-off? Is it completely written off, or can it be fixed? Can it be repaired, or is it completely gone? Hey, Mrs. Parker. Hello, Miss Parker. Yes, good to see you here. Okay, let's carry on with this guy. He's going to tell us what kind of bike he's riding in a minute.
It was rare if you did find a plantation when you had a nice owner and the slaves were treated nicely. The Hebrew Israelites are actually right when they say that a lot of religions were probably forced on their slaves. So they're wrong about that. They're right about that. However, when it comes to Christianity, in order to be the real McCoy, it's a decision that you personally have to make. That's why I argue against people today having that, because even if you're forced to go to church, as soon as you grow up, you can think for yourself. Naturally,
Oscar, did you hear him just now? He said, in other religions, they forced their religions onto slaves. But Christianity is different. Now, in Christianity, when you get to the age where you can decide, it's up to you. Let me take that back so you can hear him. I think what he's saying is completely wrong and completely false. Let me take that back a quick second so you can hear him. Oscar, did you hear him?
Yeah, but
hang on. Let me replay that.
The real McCoy, it's a decision that you personally have to make.
I'm going to go back a little bit. This guy's a liar.
Go about 15 seconds or so.
Yeah. He's such a big liar.
Slave trade were treated cruelly. They were not treated with any dignity or any respect. It was rare if you did find a plantation when you had a nice owner and the slaves were treated nicely. The Hebrew Israelites are actually right when they say that a lot of religions were probably forced on their slaves. So they're wrong about that. They're right about that. However, when it comes to Christianity, in order to be the real McCoy, it's a decision that you personally have to make. That's why I argue against people today having having that, because even if you're forced to go to church, as soon as you grow up, you can think for yourself. Naturally, you're going to reject the plank, you know.
Did you hear that?
I want to ask the Hebrew Israelites a question.
The Hebrew Israelites are right in saying that the other religions forced their religions on slaves. But in Christianity, to be a real McCoy, it's not so. So Gman is going to tell us that the Christians did not force slavery onto slaves, and that when you go to church, when you get to an age, you can choose whether to carry on going to church or not go to church. I hope I heard that right. What do you think about that, Oscar?
He was talking nonsense, right? That's straight out, because he is equating. He's equating the Old Testament, right, and the New Testament. He thinks it's different, and it's not. The law applied at the same time, or the same law, right? You can own slaves as property. Yeah, and also the funny thing is, he's thinking that the slave had any opinion. That's the irony of this guy. Yeah, like, oh no, next year I won't be. I don't want to be a slave, because my slave master is okay with me. Yeah, I might be in a good plantation. What part of slave this guy doesn't understand? Slave has got no status, right? It's got no rights. It's got zero power to enforce well-being upon himself. If I'm a slave in the plantation, if I were or whoever were, if we were the slaves, right, we would not have any choice in the matter.
No.
We have to be live by oppression of the master to his whims, right? And even on the female side of it, right, that's even worse. That's even worse, because the only thing you can do to a man is force labor. Yeah, in a woman you can force other things much more. They are more, shall we say, valuable to the master than us males, right? Yeah, they got different options available. So now slaves were exploited as property. That is it, right? Whatever comes from this guy's mouth is absolute dishonesty.
It
right?
is.
That's it. It's just your comment.
And for me, if you will choose to lie because of your religion, then I don't rate you at all. Anything you've got to say, because this is a blatant lie. It's okay to justify slavery when it's in the Bible, and you're prepared to lie for your beliefs. If you have to lie for your belief system, then probably your beliefs just isn't quite worth it. Isn't quite as lovely as you think it is. This is just crazy. At least just be honest. Be honest. Okay, it happened. Slavery, Christians used slavery as a tool. Just be honest. I'd rather that than just blatant lies.
Yes, they can't.
Sorry, did you say something?
No, 10 seconds. They can't. It is built in. There's a fault on the well, there are many faults on the Bible. One of them, and the major one, is slavery, right? So he cannot say, oh yeah, it was bad, because that's game over. That means the God was an idiot. Well, you know what I mean, right? It can't. So
it is game over.
It is game over. It is game over. So either be game over or cheat. Right?
Okay.
Being dishonest and being whatever, blah 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 blah, right? So they have to put a charade, a false sense of illusion, right, about this given subject, right? And that's the sad part of it. He has to lower the bar, right, to be able to jump it, right? Because we say, no, that's bullshit, right? So no, my God is special, it's different, and it wasn't real slavery. It was different. It was indentured servitude. Shut up. Yeah, you know what I mean. You want to come to us with intellect, not with deception. Then we
Exactly.
can work it out, right? But when you're trying to deceive us, right? We are not your sheep, right? We are your fucking wolves, right? We bite, right? So don't come to us, Gman, like if we were, like if you can convince one of your guys, yeah, one of your fucking sheep. That's what I meant, right? Anyway, carry on. Don't get me going. Just
I'm just
do
looking
you.
at this comment. Looking at this comment, this makes me laugh. If you play Nicki Minaj songs backwards, you can hear satanic messages. Even worse, if you play them forwards, you can hear Nicki. Of course, you will hear Nicki Minaj. She's the one singing. But this is how these religious people try to put you off from listening to worldly music. They call it. It's the music of the world. And hello, Greta Thunberg. It's funny. Okay, there's quite a bit of this video left, so let's go and listen to our friend.
Go through this little thought experiment. My question is this: Are you going to be under the law, statutes, and commandments that are mentioned in the Old Testament? Yes or no? I'm gonna say this again. Are you going to be under the laws, the statutes, and the commandments mentioned in the Old Testament? Yes. 1,000 years he sets up his earthly kingdom. Right? You're going to be under the law, statutes, and commandments. What does the law say about slavery for the Israelites? This is when this conversation gets interesting. Did you know that in the law in the Old Testament, that if your slave ran away, they had to stay away. You couldn't go and get them. If they ran away, they were free. Are you aware of that? Yes or no?
No, that's wrong.
Are you aware?
No, that's not right.
Hold on a minute. I'm gonna break.
That's a lie.
That's a bald-faced lie, right? What they cannot do is kidnap that slave, right? They had to return it back to the owner, and he probably beat the fucking shit out of it.
Yeah, they'll beat
right?
them, of course.
Right, beat them. Beat them. Yeah, and the owner would not get punished if he recuperates in a couple of days, right? And also if they don't break one tooth or put one eye out.
And the eye,
right?
yeah,
with the tooth and the eye, right? So, but apart from that, the beating,
because your
would
slave
happen.
is your property.
Exactly. You got zero value. You got zero value. He's what he's saying is he's encouraging evasion from the slave master. Right. He's basically saying that run away, sort of like a Roots. Remember the old Roots?
Yes.
Right? Where it says, okay, run away. Yeah.
What's his name?
Yeah. Right. So the old Kunta Kinte.
Yes.
Right. His real name. Right. So anyway, no, he's distorting what the Bible says
to suit
indeed to suit its needs, right? We know we may not know everything in the Bible, but we know equally or more than this idiot.
We can fact check these things he's talking about.
Indeed.
Gman said, "Oh, a thought experiment." Hang on. Gman said it's a thought experiment. Thought. Can you imagine Gman? And hello, Brown Girl Life. Hello. Right. Let me tell you the thing with Gman. This video just completely makes him up to be a complete hypocrite.
Definitely.
A complete hypocrite. And the next video you'll understand why. Because here he's trying to show the Black Hebrew Israelites why it's not okay to have slaves. G-Man is trying to tell them why it's not okay to have slaves. But then when he comes to defend Christianity, it's okay to have these slaves under the Yahweh's instructions. It's okay then. But here, just listen to the lights. Yeah, this guy.
Are you aware that under Old Testament Mosaic law, that you cannot rape your slaves? You do understand that, right? You cannot rape your slaves. If you do, you are now a transgressor of the law, and you will be penalized by our Lord and our Savior, Jesus Christ. No.
Okay, Oscar, is there a scripture to back that thing up, what he just said?
Not really, because he's mentioning Jesus Christ, and
There was no Jesus Christ.
Exactly. He's
There
talking
was no
nonsense.
Jesus Christ.
He's going backwards and forwards in time, right?
Hang on. So if you raped your slave back in those days when there was not even a Jesus Christ present, how was Jesus Christ going to have forgiven that? Does this make any sense?
No, listen. If you want a rape, could be portrayed from the slave master as a punishment, right? So I'm punishing my slave woman, right? Okay, you can punish your slave. There's no regulation, because the only impediment or statue was the well-being of the slave, i.e., the tooth and the eyes. Yeah, and yeah, he's riding a freaking bicycle. Yes.
No wonder he's going to tell us in a minute what kind of bike he's riding. Guys, just hang on. It gets better.
Go on, girl.
It gets better.
No, I'm not doing a G podcast today. I might go hang out later to further talk about this topic. I just want to show the Hebrew Israelites how ridiculous some of the stuff that come out of their mouth is. All right? But I want to do this thought experiment. Then I want to hear what they got to say.
Thought experiment.
Did you know that after a certain amount of years, you had to let your slaves go?
Yes. No, not slaves.
Only the Hebrew slaves.
No. But with a condition. There's a caveat here. Okay. Right. If it was alone, if it was the male alone, then in the year Jubilee you can go, right? But the trick here for do you think the slave owner was stupid? No, he gave him a nice, tasty woman, right? Whatever the shape he wants. He said, "What you want? What you want? You want some fresh meat? I get it for you. It cost me £2.50." Right, whatever. You know what I mean? I'm being a bit sarcastic here.
I get you.
So he goes, "Master, is that for me?" Yeah. Don't worry about it. Yeah, you can do whatever you want. Make some kids. Doesn't matter. It's business for me. Yeah, I'm happy. Yeah, I'm going to put you in a hut over there that you're going to build, right? Yeah, and you're going to stay forever, technically. Yeah, forever. Wicked. Thank you. 6 years. I'm going to fuck off. Right, and the guy said, "Nah, it's 6 years, bitch. You come here. This woman, and these kids are my property. Yeah, yes. And because you're slave, you cannot read, right? I can enforce this. But if you want to stay with these two, with your wife, with your beloved wife and your kids, right? And you have to be my slave forever, Mr. Gman, deceptive Gman, dishonest Gman. Yeah, and your little eye lobe." Ear lobe would have been pierced, right?
Exactly.
Like a fishing thing, right? There in the door or whatever fucking
with an owl.
Yeah. A pokey thing, right? And he was forever. Yeah, I know also
property. Property of the slave master.
Yeah, and you belong to the descendants. That's the sad part.
They can put you in the wheel and wheel you over to the next generation.
That's it. So he is being intellectually dishonest. But as I said to you again, Esther,
he's always dishonest. He's always
Christian
dishonest.
apologetics are dishonest by default. And we can prove that. We can prove that. Carry on, girl.
I'm serious. There's a certain amount of years you gotta let your slaves go.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like you're gonna be owning these people according to your weird theology forever. They're not gonna be your slaves forever. After about 6 or 7 years, or the year of Jubilee, you gotta let them go. And you got to give them great substance. But G-Man, that's only true for the Hebrew servants, the Hebrew indentured slaves. That's not true for the foreign slaves.
Correct.
Are you going to be under Mosaic law? Yes or no? There's only going to be one kingdom, and it's going to be the kingdom of God. So you're going to have to let them go after 7 years. So that argument doesn't stand.
No, that's not true.
G-Man.
That's not true.
This guy, what's he talking about? There's only one kingdom of God. What is he on about? This guy does not understand his Bible. He's trying to talk about what's going to happen in the future and what's happened in the past.
Right.
There's going to be one kingdom of God. What has that got to do with God's directives about how to treat slaves? This guy.
You know what's really interesting about all of this? As we talk about this is supposed to be revenge against the white man. And you want to know what the funny thing is? You're actually going to treat your slaves way better than they ever treated us. Oh, I almost fell off this thing. Let me get off this. You're going to have to treat your slaves way better than you ever treated than they ever treated us. How is that revenge? I mean, never mind the fact that the Bible says that vengeance is the Lord's. It's his, he shall repay. Like, I know why you guys teach that doctrine. You teach that doctrine. You teach that doctrine because you want revenge. That's why you teach the doctrine. But what you don't understand is, since those Hebrew Israelites that are teaching you this don't understand scripture, what you don't understand is that you're only going to do it for about 6 years or 7 years. Then you're going to have to give them great substance, and you're going to have to let them go. There's only going to be one kingdom during that time, and that's going to be the kingdom of Jesus Christ for 1,000 years. You ain't own no slaves for no 1,000 years. And this is assuming you're telling the truth. Do you know that during the transatlantic slave trade, you worked Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday? Did you know that?
So Gman knows these things, but yet he's prepared to be someone's slave. Gman is ready to be a slave to a white man. That's Gman. But he knows these things. But when it comes to defending the Bible, it's like all these things he knows just goes over his head.
But in the kingdom, you're going to work 6 days, and on the 7th day, you're going to have to allow your slaves to work.
In the kingdom? What kingdom?
You're going to have to allow your slaves to work.
What kingdom?
How is that revenge against the people who went against you during the transatlantic slave trade? Tell me, how is that revenge? How is that giving them what they gave to you? You're literally going to be treating them better than how you was being treated. And that's just one of a billion different reasons why I disagree with this crazy Hebrew Israelite doctrine. It doesn't make any sense. I don't call revenge treating my enemy better than what they treated me. That's not revenge. I'm sorry.
He's actually reading comments.
Like, it's just absolutely unbelievable. And I'm going to do a longer show on this a little bit later. I can't really see the comments that well. But I just think that it's absolutely hilarious that you guys believe, oh, the white man's going to be our slave, and we're going to get our revenge. We were slaves in America for almost 200 years. We were slaves in America for a long time. For a long time. And you're only going to have your slave for 7 years. No, the name of this channel is Gman versus the Black Hebrew Israelites. That's the name of this YouTube channel. I deal with the Hebrew Israelites and other topics in this channel. And when I deal with them, I can deal with them on this channel, Marked by God, or my Gman channel. But when I unleash my documentary, I'm putting it on this channel and on my Gman channel, which I'm almost finished with. Me and Ken just got finished shooting a couple of scenes for it. So I'm going to head home now, and I'm going to try to... So the Hebrew Israelites are actually running around here. We're going to get our revenge. White man are going to be our slaves. Man, you guys need to go read your Bibles. You need to see how you're going to be treating your slaves. You think you're going to be raping them? Can't find that in Scripture. Nope. You ain't going to be able to find that in Scripture. Not in proper context, you're not. Nope. You got it.
So basically, Gman is trying to tell the Black Hebrew Israelites that they are going to treat their slaves better. How is that revenge? They should come up with a better way of treating their slaves, more horrible than chattel slavery. I mean, how is this advice making sense? Oscar, are you still there?
Yes, I'm with you. But I don't understand what he's saying, to be quite honest.
Because it's not making sense.
No. He's all over the shop, what we call all over the place. Right? I cannot understand what he's saying. He's going over the place, and you cannot grab one side of the story, because then he jumped to another place and this and that. Seriously, it's just he's a bag of nonsense.
It is. And you know what? I think we've got better videos, and I'm going to stop with this one, honestly, because there's only so much I can take of this ranting on his bike. By the way, he was on a girl's bike.
No,
That
no
bike
surprise.
he's riding is a little girl's bike.
And I'm not
Okay.
sure if it's his, if you get what I mean.
A little girl's bike. Of course, it's not his. So
no. You didn't understand my rhetoric
no,
answer.
no. What? Say it
He
again.
he probably took it from somebody.
All right. I see
Right?
what you mean.
Yeah,
I
right.
see what you mean.
Yeah,
Okay, so
it doesn't seem logical for him. Well, I mean, it could be skinned, but that's not here or
right.
there.
So someone who was in the chat earlier on, the Loobis, has done a compilation of Gman completely. Well, he was defending slavery. So we will have a look at Loobis's video. So just 1 second, guys. I'm going to share my screen here. Let's have a look at our dear friend again defending slavery. So it's okay to tell the Black Hebrew Israelites how they would be better slaves, no, better slave masters. But let's hear what he has to say about the Christian, the slavery in the Bible. Right. So, Gman, tell us.
Okay. So anyway, guys, you saw the title of the video. Title of this video today is called "Slavery is not immoral in of itself." Slavery is not immoral in of itself. Let me say this again. You owning another human being, which is what Matt Dillahunty was crying about. You own another human being. You know what I mean? Since he was on that show, and he cares so much about this topic of slavery. Okay. I don't. They keep saying how we're animals all the time, right? Now remember, they're against slavery.
Oscar?
He's okay.
Slavery.
With owning
in
people.
of itself. There's nothing wrong in slavery in of itself. What does that mean when you say in of itself?
It's because it's in the Bible. He has to say that slavery is fine, right, in his book, because otherwise, if he had the power to take slavery concept, the words out, he would, but he can't. He's forced. So he's got two choices: to be intellectually dishonest, or have cognitive dissonance, or probably an amalgamation of both of them, right? But I'm more inclined of the dishonesty part of it.
Hey, Sydney.
Talking about that, in about 3 minutes, I need to eject.
Oh, you've got to go?
Yeah, in about 3 minutes.
Okay,
Well, give me some signals.
Okay, no worries.
And
no worries.
she's gonna use what you said that you had a couple of days ago.
Who?
Remember, you said that you bought something. You bought something.
Who, me?
Yes. Remember, you talking about bondage and this and that, and they said you had it. Yeah, not going to details.
Okay,
but
yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
All right.
She might get it.
Slavery now, right? They keep saying that we're animals, right? Yep, well, we're animals. I mean, I own a cat. I've owned cats. The cat's my property. Okay, you own turtles.
Cats
those turtles are your
property.
You have dominion over those turtles. I have dominion over my cats, right? Why can't I own a human being if we're animals? Animals can own animals according to them. So why is slavery bad? It doesn't matter how you look at it. In of itself, there's nothing wrong with a human being owning another human being. The problem that most of us got, if we're being honest and we're talking about this, is how people are being treated when they're being owned.
And why I would say owning another person is wrong,
right?
But owning a dog is not the same.
Oh yes, it is.
Because my dog right here is incapable. I mean, this dog is my property. She belongs to me. Mm-hmm. But she is incapable of being my slave. She's a dog. But when I own a human, the reason I would say it's wrong is not because they are my property. It's wrong because they're my slave. You know, secure. That's why it's wrong. They're my slave.
Jill,
I would say, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to give you a better answer. But in my opinion, I would say owning another person is wrong because they're your slave. I'm sorry, I can't elaborate more, but that's just my feeling. That's my feeling. But when we get to the good slavery, bad slavery, I do have a question.
Before you go, Oscar, so are those two things the same? Owning a slave and owning a pet?
Most definitely, right? One is not allowed, right? Owning a human as owning a human, period, right? There are laws, right, that protects either animals, right, and for property, right? So basically, you cannot mistreat them, right? Because otherwise you would be penalized accordingly. You could even be sent to jail, right, for mistreating an animal. So is it property? Yeah, it's only property because it's like bureaucracy. You have to fill out paperwork of this, and you have to show that you care for the animal,
Yes.
right? And if you mistreat them, you get
Yes, you can get
some
into
sort
some
of a
serious
retaliation.
trouble.
Right, that's it. Right, now they're not slaves, so that he's missing. He's misleading. Right, he's trying to equate ownership of an animal versus slavery, which is day and night. Okay, and we don't treat our animals as slaves.
You
right?
can't even get your animals to
No,
do work for you.
No.
To
no, it's not
you
that. It's
know,
not work. It's the concept of do this, do that, do this, do that, do this, do that, because I'm your master. What's
yeah,
gonna
but
do?
then
What's the dog gonna say? Oh, thank you, master. Sorry, master. Hit me. No, don't be silly. You know what I mean? He's beyond ridiculous. Absolutely
he
beyond
is.
ridiculous. Right? And
Hello,
comparing the two
Rudolph.
is comparing day and night.
I honestly, every time I hear this guy, I'm not sure. And Loobis, I don't know how Loobis is able to have conversation. I see Loobis in so many videos. Loobis sits there and just takes it all in and just listens. I get frustrated for Loobis. I'm there watching Loobis thinking, how on earth is this man able to just be so patient listening to this? Loobis even went to bring his dog to show this guy you cannot compare slavery and owning a beautiful pet like this.
We get a pet to provide love, to provide care, which is the opposite of a slave, right? The slave is an investment, right? It's an investment for our things that we got, right? For our production or whatever, right? And we can dispose at will, right? On those time I'm talking about, right? Yeah, it is just a tool for the end process, right? Regardless, right? We can dispose, we can do this, we can do that, and there's no harm done, right? And we got a paper saying that we can do so, right? But the animal provides us so much joy, right? That we appreciate it, right? We take care of the animal. We give him the best thing that they can have. Yeah, we ask for training. Yeah, so we can communicate with each other, right? And they reciprocate. Yeah, reciprocate with what we want with us. You know what I mean? They show us affection
that we give them.
Yes. Wiggling the tail, the cat pressing against our bodies. You know what I mean? With paws. Yeah, that's a sign of affection. Purring. That's a sign of affection. You think that we call those animals our slaves? Don't be silly. Don't be silly.
Not.
Don't be silly.
I mean, I'm rehoming a parrot at the moment, right? She's been with me less than 2 months, and she's gotten into this habit. Anyone who's a stranger, who's not the usual face from the three of us who live in here, when you come in here, she just goes off. She starts screaming her head off because there's a stranger there. Now, you think if she was a slave, she would be able to make all that noise. I've got to respect her because this is a strange person to her. So what I do is I either just move her in the cage. When she's in the cage, she's fine. Well, she's very unsettled when she's in the cage. You can tell, this is a strange face. But it is what it is. That's the life. I have to deal with that, because as a responsible carer of this parrot, I've got to understand her little quirks, little behaviors, the things that she likes. Because I can't treat her like a slave, can I?
Not also that, she could even be manifesting protection.
Right.
Yeah, if he doesn't see anybody that is normal or not normal, that she's acquainted with, a stranger, right, she does whatever she needs to do, and you have to interpret that as a listen, Esther, we got some problems.
There's a strange person
it's
here.
A strange person. And she's gonna shit, she's gonna do this, she's gonna do that, she's gonna be pissed. It says, my owner, we got a problem.
Yes.
Yeah. And you just say, okay, whatever, and then you address it. Happy days, right? There's been a back
life
and
is
forward.
back to being normal again.
Exactly. Thank you. Give me a treat.
Let me read this comment. The Afro-Humanist, Hello Randolph, says, we are stewards of pets, which is distinctly different from enslavement.
Yeah.
Human beings can be enslaved, but this is outlawed. And contrary to pro-slavery edicts in the Bible. But now I've got a question, and this is, people use donkeys, they use horses, and they use animals to do some really hard labor, right? In the third world, in some places, I've seen donkeys that look like they need help, but are being used to carry some very heavy stuff. I get it. Some people are cruel like that. In my opinion, that is animal abuse. That is animal abuse. Anyone who does a thing like that, you're abusing that animal, and that's just morally wrong.
That I would say that that's a lack of intellect on caring for the animal, right? Yeah. You are correct. Most third world countries, right, do that, but there are some that actually protect them, right? Like India, right? They protect certain animals with reverence. Yeah, elephants and whatnot, right?
So cows.
Or cows, yes, for sure, and elephants as well. Yeah, part of the deity system. I'm not sure, but what I mean. They put all sorts of things, and they take care of them, right? They have respect for the animal, right? So it's the different side of the coin. So it's nothing to do with slavery, but actually care, right? They care for the well-being of the animal, right? And they do reciprocate, right? They probably defend the companion. I don't think the animal is seen as the owners, right? But just as an alpha, as a protector, right? And that's how the animal world works, right? One is the leader, the other one, whatever, the pack leader, yeah. And it does work, but they're not slaves amongst each other and amongst us, right? I would say that there's exploitation. We exploit the animal. It's the actual contrary.
Yes.
Right? We exploit animal for pharmaceuticals, for medicine, for everything. Yeah, and we've seen the animals, the monkeys, the primates, that never seen the fucking light, sunshine. They haven't seen. Never mind the grass, right? So come on, for this idiot to say that animals are equal to human slaves is deranged.
It's wrong. Absolutely wrong.
The guy is a nutcase, and with that, I have to eject. So Esther, thank you for inviting me here.
Thank you for coming.
Sorry for my 5 pence rant.
No. I appreciate it. I always enjoy talking to you. Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you.
And don't forget, people, to subscribe to Esther and to hit the like. That's an order from me.
Yes.
Okay?
Oh, thank you. Thanks. Right, see you later, Oscar. And for me, Gman, to think that there are people who actually would be giving Gman the thumbs up for the things he's saying, that's just incredible. There's this person in this chat now. I think it's Jesus is Lord. Who are these people, and why would they be giving Gman the thumbs up and supporting him? This is just. What I've seen a comment here. It says the reason why Gman says that is because the Bible says humans should rule above the animals. Pio Channel 2. Let me ask this question. How is an animal, oh, no, sorry. How is a human going to rule over a whale in the sea? A huge, massive, gigantic whale. How is a human going to rule over a whale? How is that even possible? The Bible just messed up book, doesn't even have a clue what they're talking about. Okay, let's hear the rest of this madness here.
Yeah, Loobis. You're entitled to your opinion, Loobis. I ain't got an issue with that because that's just gonna be more of a conversation. But the bottom line is, if you're gonna have an intelligent conversation with somebody, you got to give them a reason on why owning a human being. I mean, unless you're just gonna say your opinion. If you're just gonna say your opinion, there ain't nothing to talk about then. I mean, you're entitled to your opinion. But if you want it to be factually true, like Matt Dillahunty likes to try to put it on everybody, you have to be able to give a sound, rational, logical reason on why it's wrong. And if you can't do that, then I mean, a lot of people aren't take you seriously on that because there's a lot of people, and I mean a lot of people who are not even Christians that agree with me on this.
Well, my reason for why it's wrong is because it makes the person a slave, not an employee, not an apprentice.
What's wrong?
It makes them a slave. That would be my reason.
What's wrong with being a slave?
What's wrong with being a slave? You're a slave. That's what's wrong with it. That you're a slave.
Well, if you identify with Christianity, you are a slave. The God of Christianity expects you to be a slave to him. So maybe that's why Gman is okay with slavery, because Gman is a slave. And his friend, Jesus is Lord, and all the other fellow Christians, their God expects them to be subservient to him. They've got to worship him. They've got to bow down to him in this life and the next. In fact, it gets worse in the next life, because in the next life, that's all they're going to do. Morning, noon, and night, they're going to just be in worship and reverence of this deity. Constant worship. So I think that's why Gman has to defend, because like it or not, Gman is shackled. He's shackled to his God, shackled to his deity.
Define what you mean by that. What's wrong with being a slave? Define it. Okay, tell me how Matt Dillahunty was right. Tell me how.
Can you hear me now? Please let me know if you can hear me now. No sound. Can you hear me now? I'm muted. 1 second. Let's have a look here. Audio. Yeah, that looks like it's working. Default, rolled NT. Everything looks like it's working okay. Okay, sound is good now. Okay, right. So Random says, what's wrong with being a slave? Loobis supplied the most excellent answer. You are a slave. A slave can be beaten. A slave has no rights. A slave has no will of their own. A slave has to do everything his master says. A slave cannot go free. A slave does not get paid for the work that they do. Well, they might get, the master might be nice sometimes and just give them maybe just some favors. But because the slave is the property of the slave master, that's it. There's no remunerations for being a slave. It is sad to see a black man ask the question, what is wrong with being a slave? It breaks my heart every time.
Oh, I was wrong. When Matt was talking about how beating the crap out of your slaves, and you're saying like it's okay, and he's saying like no, it's wrong, because it is wrong. I mean, having slaves in general, like you say, slaves in and of itself is okay. No, it's not. Having slaves is wrong. Period. I mean, come on, Gman. That entire video. Okay, keep going.
Loobis, explain to me what's right about this, Loobis, and who's encouraging this, Loobis? Because it ain't Christians. Who's encouraging this, Loobis?
Look at the bottom of that screenshot. Look at, you see
Loobis.
me. You see me, and I say, oh
Loobis.
no. Oh
Loobis.
no. To that G slave
Loobis.
syllabus, I put,
Loobis.
oh
Loobis.
no.
Loobis.
Does
That's
that
great,
sound?
That's great, Loobis.
I'm
Who's
condoning
encouraging this, Loobis?
What was that?
Who's encouraging this? This is how I know you don't listen. Who's encouraging this?
I don't know. That's one person.
This is showing up in every video that I talk about the slave issue. Not the slave issue, the race issue.
One person is doing that.
Oh, no. There's
Screenshot.
quite a few people doing it. They're even doing it right now. They're not saying the N-word, but they're being racist
what does that
and
got
It's one
to
name,
do?
man. It's a G.
It's
How am I
like-
having a conversation?
Just like you're a content creator, you're on here, you're doing live streams, you have someone, a guest come in, and then a troll comes in. Trolls come in the chat all the time. What has that got to do with the guest who you've got on there? A troll is in the chat. What has that got to do with Loobis? Loobis is clearly telling the troll this is wrong. But I don't understand. Guys, are you sure everything's okay 100% with Gman? I don't know. I have my thoughts. Is it the Christianity? Could there be other things going on? What could it be? Or is it a mixture of different things?
With you and you won't be quiet, sir. Do you know how to have an adult conversation? Or should I sick pillbox on you?
I'm sorry.
Okay? Because I'll unleash him and let him deal with you if you want.
I said I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay? So let's talk about this now. Why do you defend scientist Sam?
Talking about whether a human being owns another human being in of itself.
Okay, so it strikes me as really odd that you feel you must support biblical slavery as not being immoral. Is this really the hill you want to die on?
No. That's not what this is about. My argument is that it is not wrong for a human being to own another human being in of itself.
It's not
the
wrong.
argument that the atheist community is making, that if a human being owns another human being, that it is wrong across the board. And there's so many ways to debunk that. It's not even funny. For starters, they can't even give me a moral basis, but it's not even fun doing it.
Let me take that back. So the atheist community are the ones saying it is wrong to own another human as your slave. The atheist community. So the Christian community is saying it's okay to own another human as your slave. Hey, and Big Zebra. I love Big Zebra. Right, let's hear that conversation again. And hello, Kalitha.
Okay? So let's talk about this now. Why do you defend scientist Sam?
Talking about whether a human being owns another human being in of itself.
Okay, so it strikes me as really odd that you feel you must support biblical slavery as not being immoral. Is this really the hill you want to die on?
No. That's not what this is about. My argument is that it is not wrong for a human being to own another human being in of itself. The argument that the atheist community is making, that if a human being owns another human being, that it is wrong across the board. And there's so many ways to debunk that. It's not even funny. For starters, they can't even give me a moral basis, but it's not even fun doing that. It's not even fun doing that. I find it to be more fun to hit them up with their own argument. If you're going to say that it is wrong for a human being to own another human being in of itself, then you got to tell me why. Why is it wrong for the act? What is wrong about the very act of owning another human being? What's so bad about it? Okay, so what is your answer for why a human being should never own another?
Gman is really asking, What's so bad about owning another human? Gman just said that the atheist community are the ones saying it is wrong, that there are no conditions where it is okay to own slaves. The atheist community, the godless people, the heathens, they're the ones saying no. But this Christian, because I really would not want to say the Christian community, because I know some Christians don't have the same views as G-Man. But this Christian says it's okay. God says it's okay, and it's okay with him. Oh, guys. Would he allow himself to be a slave according to his wonderful book? Khalifa. G-Man has said yes. So long as God says it was okay, as long as it was God's idea, he is okay and he is willing to be as... It's not even funny. It's not even funny. Afro-humanists, I met a few atheists over the years who approve of human slavery. Wait, Randolph, were they vocal about this? Were they really out there saying it's okay to own another human as a slave? I don't care who you are, atheist, Christian, whatever you... Listen, the fact that anyone will have those ideas, why would you want to own another person as your... Why would you want to do that? Why? Some people are just sick. Some people are just sick in the head. Hey, Mrs. Parker. Mrs. Parker, you have had a lot of conversations with G-Man. Please answer me this question. Do you think there are other things going on? Or you think it's just his Christianity? He's so hell-bent on defending Christianity, and he doesn't care to make himself look ridiculous. He just, he would look ridiculous for his Christian. Or do you think that there are other underlying issues? Because G-Man is not your average Christian at all. This is just completely no. And to think that most of these videos are from years ago. You think that now in 2022 his position would have at least shifted, but no, his position is still the same, or even worse. Now he's got to the point now of threatening to kill people now. He was threatening Mrs. Parker. He's threatening to hit her to the point where she will have a miscarriage. He's now calling her miscarriage. Threatening to pull up at people's houses with a revolver to shoot them. Threatening to release the private information of their children. And G-Man the other day was talking about his legacy. What a legacy. This is one person I've seen whose life has, instead of going this way, is going that way, just going down and down the drains. Now he's defending, he's threatening people, and now he's buying drugs for his friends. It's Christian. Right, okay, let's hear the rest of this nonsense here.
Human being.
Because it violates their basic human rights.
Okay, it
tries to
violates
turn human beings into animals.
When. So it violates their human rights, right? I want to make sure I write that down.
Yeah,
It violates their human rights, right?
Yeah.
He wants to write it.
Do you believe that morality is objective, or do you believe that morality is subjective?
To be honest with you, I often find myself hoping that it is objective, that you and I could find some way to prove what is moral and what is not, but I suspect it's largely subjective.
Okay, so morality
So that's not a straight answer. I apologize.
So it would be based on the other person's. It would be based on the other person's point of view or what their opinion is. All right.
Based on their point of view.
All right. If you believe that morality is subjective, your point of view is that owning another human being in of itself is wrong. In Israel, okay, more than 2,000 years ago, they didn't believe that, and that's according to their subjective morality. If you believe in subjective morality, who's right and who's wrong? And you believe that it is immoral for a human to own another human.
Yes.
Okay? There is absolutely nothing immoral about
in this, that we have all fallen short of the glory of God. So you explain to me how such deeply flawed people should be allowed to own other people. If they
I don't have a problem with another human being owning another human being. I have a problem with how people are treated while they are owned by these people. Because I can show you slavery happening in the Bible.
Gman, when that person owns the other as their property, there's really not a lot you can do about the treatment they're going to get. You can say however much you want to. You can say, oh, I've got a problem with how they're treated. You can sing that from up the hills as much as you like. It would not change how they are treated. The fact that they can own that person as property, that already dictates the treatment they're going to get. I get it. Some slave masters might be nicer than others, but even your Bible tells the slave master that if you beat the slave and the slave does not die, then it's fine. But if you beat the slave and the slave dies, the Bible didn't even say you've got to die. No. The Bible says there will be consequences. So the chances that the slave could even go scot-free, the slave master. If you beat the slave and the eyes taken out and the teeth is, your Bible recognizes that the slave master treats the slave abhorrently. And here you are talking about how the slave is, this is painful, very painful to listen to.
That even you would enjoy. Let me ask you this, bro. How you doing, Loobis?
Hey, what's up, man? Hey, Gman, I had a question. When you say
Dean Kruger,
it's not wrong for a human to own another human in of itself, what do you mean by in of itself? I don't understand that part.
Left alone, as is. You own me right now, Loobis. End of story, the end. You own me as property. The end. There's nothing immoral about that. The atheist community has been arguing with me for years. Matt Dillahunty argued this on the Atheist Experience. The atheists, I mean...
Loobis, you own Gman as property. You own him. And there's nothing wrong with it. According to Gman, you own him. Who wants to be owned by another? Who, in their right mind, wants to be owned? I don't understand. Is it a language thing? It's just not understanding, or is it? I don't know. But Loobis, Gman says it's okay to own him. That you actually own him.
I mean, jungle jargon and me have known each other for a while here now. I think Jesus is Lord and me just started talking like a couple of years ago or whatever. But the atheist for the longest time says that the very act of a human owning another human being as property is immoral. If it is immoral, then the burden of proof is on the atheist to be able to show us why that is immoral in of itself. If you cannot do it, then it logically follows that they have to stop saying that.
Well, I'm wondering if, because...
Well, atheists, I congratulate you guys, honestly. I congratulate all the atheists. Well, except the ones who think it is okay to own slaves. Those are not the ones I'm talking about. Those are some horrendous humans. But the atheists who say, irrespective of my lack of belief in a deity, there's no God telling me what I should and shouldn't do, but my morals tell me that it's not okay to own another person as property. Kudos to you. Congratulations for holding the fort and, just being the good humans that we really should be without a God. You give me hope that we can be good people without God. We are good without God. The people who have the God belief now want to come and tell you that, no, it's okay to own these slaves. It's okay to own people and they want you, that the burden of proof is on you atheists to tell the Christians why it is not okay to own slaves. The burden of proof is on the atheists to tell the Christians why it is not okay to own slaves. If that is not a reason to dump Christianity, I wonder what else is. When you would defend, now you're telling the atheists that are saying that it's not okay to own your fellow guys. Let's hear the rest. Oh my
The part
goodness.
about owning another person isn't wrong in of itself. I've never heard anybody say that part.
And doing that for years.
And so I'm thinking like,
you never heard
like I'm wondering if it's because you're trying to like justify it. I mean, because for me, if someone's a slave, that's always bad.
Loobis, it is a direct. See, here's the thing, Loobis. You want your cake and you want to eat it. You want to be able to say that human beings should never own another human being.
Oh, Loobis. Loobis, why do you torture yourself so much like this? Why does Loobis do this to himself? Okay, so the Inquisitor Bacon says if he owned Gman, he has no idea what he would do. He'd have him edit his videos, but he's not sure he'd want him to do his handiwork. Want his handiwork all over your videos. You might find some better use for Gman, maybe. Oh my. He's trying to create a burden of proof for atheists, just like most religious apologists try so desperately to do when interacting with atheists. Exactly. They always want to shift the burden onto the atheists, even when it just clearly does not work. It clearly does not work. I've had apologists tell me to explain how the universe and life came to be in my worldview, to try and shift the burden of proof to me. They don't like my answer of it. How do you answer that, Inquisitor Bacon? Someone still asked me yesterday. Yes, it was yesterday. Was it yesterday or the first day? Someone still asked me, so who created you? What was the question? Yeah. In your worldview, how were you created? Something along those lines. I said, well, my mom and dad had sex. Therefore, I was created. Notice they then changed the question and asked, who created the first human? I said, well, if you really want to know, how about go and search on Google? And don't bother me with your questions. Hello, Unit 666.
Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me good?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
And it's good to have you here.
Thank you.
What are your thoughts so far?
Besides That's how crazy he is. I'm still fully figuring this out. So,
Oh no, is that me or what? Is that what's happened? Does the G in Gman stand for crazy? By the way, yes, I know that crazy is spelled with a C, but does Gman is? I don't know. I don't know. Loobis, listen. Thank you for the service, Loobis. I really thank you because my goodness.
So, but then you also want to sit there and say, in a perfect world, we should never own animals.
Answer your question.
In your own house, you have a dog in your house right now.
Yes.
Loobis, you own a dog in your house. Loobis, you are a slave master. Stop it. Loobis, you need to stop. Stop being a slave master. You own a dog in your house. Look at Gman's, look at the smile on his face. He thinks he has scored a point somehow.
Get out of here, man. You're full of it. You're totally full of it. So
I don't know what you're trying to. I mean, are you against it? Are you for it? I don't even know what point you're trying to make.
Okay, Loobis, are you aware that I made an argument on the atheist experience? I said that there's nothing wrong with a human being owning another human being in of itself.
Yeah,
are you aware
of the argument.
Okay, it's a stupid argument. Do you understand that that's a response to the argument that atheists say that it is wrong for a human being to own another human being? Period.
It is. It's always wrong.
I got two witnesses here.
Not if you're going to claim that they're animals, dude.
Oh God. Okay, so right. Hey JG, hello. Let's see. Right, this is an old video. And I think it's from, let's see, the next video is from Skylar Fiction. But the title of this video is Gman is a slave to his own idea. Gman is a slave to his own ideology. Gman is a slave through and through. He is. I think that's why he goes so hard to defend slavery. He may not be in physical chains, but he is definitely in mental, psychological, spiritual chains. Sad, really sad. Let's see here. Let's share this.
Matt, that is stupid. You can own something or someone.
You can own something or someone. This video is quite low. Hang on, let me check the volume. Volume is on the loudest. Hopefully you can hear the video.
Property. Matt, you're not proving that slavery would be immoral. Actually, you're proving that you would be immoral for not properly taking care of your property. For example, my dog is my property, and I make sure my dog eats, has a roof over his head, has his shots, and is taken care of. But you have openly admitted that you would be a bad owner and you would do a terrible job owning another human being. Again, it isn't slavery that's the problem. It's people like you.
But you want to know what the funniest thing that was on there was? Everybody on YouTube calls me stupid. They say I can't spell and everything else in the book. How many of you guys caught the fact that he misspelled Irvington? It was Ivington.
Yeah, I saw that. That was kind of funny. I was like, wait a minute. I never heard of Ivington, New Jersey.
Gosh, not his friend Veco.
I'm always told I can't spell, and I don't use spell check, right? But I mean, seriously, the producers of the atheist experience don't know how to spell a city in New Jersey. Seriously.
There's been a lot of people talking in the community lately about, is it wrong in and of itself to own a person? Is slavery in and of itself wrong? But what you have to ask yourself is, what does it mean to say that something is wrong in and of itself? How could any act be wrong in and of itself, irrespective of a person's intentions and irrespective of the predictable consequences upon the well-being of ourselves and the other sentient beings around us, right? Who can be affected by the actions of us as agents, right? So there are things about slavery that make slavery wrong. So there's something right about asking the question, is slavery wrong in and of itself? There's a certain sense in which you say, well, geez, I mean, if slavery were perfectly benign, if no one had ever objected to being slaves, if no one hated it, if there was nothing distasteful about it, if it didn't frustrate people's ambitions, if it didn't make them feel like their dignity had been violated or something like that, if it didn't completely foil their life plans, if it didn't subordinate them to another person, then if that were the case, if that was somehow the reality of slavery, no matter what slavery you're talking about,
it wouldn't even be slavery at that point, because if you can't subordinate another human being, then it's not really considered owning that human being.
Right. Well, this is just a thought.
So slavery is the subordination of another human being. The act of trying to subordinate another human for your own selfish gain, your own selfish desires. It's just a very sickening thought. The fact that you would pay money for this person, honestly, I'm thankful and I'm grateful to live in a time where it is not okay to own slaves. If Gman were to, guys, imagine if Gman could rule the world. Imagine if Gman had powers, like he was a leader. Imagine if Gman could somehow have authority over lots and lots of people. Imagine what kind of world we would live in. Us atheists, oh my. Us atheists, we will be enslaved in Gman's world. We will definitely be in shackles. And all the Christians, well, the good Christians that give Shani and Rev money, all the Christians that don't give Shani and Rev money, they probably will be maybe not so much slaves, but they'd be banished somewhere in Gman's world.
Experiment told me, if it were that way, then I think we would say, yeah, slavery is not a big deal. It just doesn't seem, there's nothing objectionable about it, right? So clearly, the fact that people abuse slaves is relevant, is part of why we have a distaste for slavery. But it's not just that, right? There's another
Okay, Unit 666, if you can come back in, please do come back in.
There's a certain sense in which we all start off as slaves. Right? We've all experienced slavery of sorts.
Try online workouts from Les Mills Plus, leaders in group fitness. Get unlimited access to...
All started off as infants and children. And what does it mean to be a child? It means to have your will.
I think at this point, over the years, so many people have tried their hardest to try and explain to Gman why it's not okay to own slaves. They've tried to make him see just things from a very different perspective, but it hasn't worked. Unfortunately, I'm an optimist. I believe that people can change. I feel like there's hope. But I get it. Some people are just completely shackled to their ideologies and their belief systems, that it is what it is. You just got to put your hands in the air and just say, you know what, that's it. Just let them be. Because for some people, without their religion, they'd be lost. without their religion, they would be, they would not be decent humans. They would not fit in to society. They would be running amok. They would be out there just cussing and creating havoc. So I think in Gman's case, I think it's better that he has his religion. However evil, however cruel he may come across. I don't know. Guys, what are your thoughts? Would you rather Gman have this religion that he has that makes him this horrible person he is, or he should just stick with his religion? What are your thoughts?
Your autonomy completely subordinated to that of your parents. They get to dictate what you're going to do with your day, what you're going to wear, where you're going to live, what you're going to eat, how your time is going to be spent, what beliefs you're going to have pickled into you. I mean, everything about your life is determined by another group of people who have a complete autonomy over you. Your own autonomy is subordinated. Okay. Now, at some point, we become sufficiently socialized and intelligent enough that that is morally socialized that we can understand the predictable consequences of our own actions as agents upon other sentient beings, and we are able to make intelligent decisions that are in our own interests. Right? That's part of maturation and growing up out of childhood and into adolescence and adulthood. Now, so we think that sort of being a parent and completely having control over your children is a good thing. Why? Because it's a necessary thing. Because children are not capable of acting in their own interests. They don't know what their own interests are. They're too stupid. Right? Children are born stupid and uncivilized, and the job of child rearing is to civilize them and educate them and instruct them. Right? So that's why we have this period of something that is tantamount to slavery in child rearing. But as a child matures and is able to recognize its own interests, act intelligently in its own interests, and recognize the interests of other beings, that child is given more and more autonomy. And so that's what happens. So we've all of us have experienced firsthand what it's like to be a slave, so to speak.
Hello, Soren.
And every child knows this is not an ideal circumstance to be in, even though it might be benign. Okay, but think about a person who is effectively kept like a child by their parents until the age of 30. Imagine you're 30 and you don't get to decide what outfit you're going to wear, what pants you're going to wear. Mom, I want to wear jeans. No, you don't get to wear jeans. You got to wear pleated pants or something like that, right? I mean, what would that be like? That would be just a terrible, terrible life, right?
Pleated pants.
If Gman was a dog, you get him muted.
That's what happened to you, right? Then we would resent that, right? We are right to resent.
I don't know how true this is, but it looks like Gman has a wife and a child. I'm not entirely sure the details around that, but it looks like he has a wife and child. Can you imagine? Okay, this is for the people in the chat. Can you imagine being married to Gman or being in a relationship with Gman? Gman, I'm sure he has expressed that women belong in the kitchen, mopping, cleaning, and cooking for their husbands. The woman should be at home. I'm sure I've heard him say something along those lines. Can you imagine having Gman as a dad, as a father? Imagine him coming home, someone upsetting him out there, or someone on YouTube has taken down his video or has reported. Can you imagine him coming home being outraged? Just imagine that. And this is where these religions become problematic, because the people that believe in these things, it's how they then turn around and use these religions in their everyday lives. That's where it becomes a huge problem. The children suffer, their friends suffer, the spouses suffer, because they use these beliefs as a tool.
Assert their autonomy over their own lives and control their own destinies. And that's what's objectionable about slavery. It is you are infantilizing another person And the idea of chattel slavery, of actually owning another person, I think
you
runs even
disagree?
deeper there. That idea is one that violates a principle that arose. Well, I'd say
I didn't
starting in the
hear him
Renaissance and
say
into
that actually.
the Enlightenment, especially the idea that people are not objects. People are agents. They are persons. The concept of personhood that we now have is very different than the concept of personhood that existed in the Middle Ages and in antiquity. We understand that the concept of freedom of thought and expression and autonomy over yourself, control of your own destiny, the pursuit of happiness, as enshrined in the American Constitution, for instance, that these are integral to being a person. And if you are denied these things, you are being denied your personhood.
Oh gosh, here we go.
Hold on, wait. I've been wanting to ask Gman. I've been wanting to ask him this question for a long time, ever since he brought this up. Gman, what is the difference between literal and figurative?
I'm not going to answer that question.
I thought so. There we go. There we go, ladies and gentlemen.
No. I'm going to give you the answer. I'm going to give you the reason why I won't answer.
No. I'll let you speak. And I have not said anything. This is why I don't take anything he says seriously. He doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. You just complained that people were interrupting you, G-Man. You just complained about that, and I'd shut up. I had not said anything for the past 10 minutes, so please let me finish. Thank you, grown-ass man. Okay, anyway, this is why I don't take anything G-Man seriously. He doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. So when we specifically get on these points and he starts taking figurative things and trying to turn them into literal things, I have to make sure that he actually knows what he's referring to. Because I guess in his delusional mind, he believes that they're the same thing. But those of us who have passed 6th grade know the difference between the two. So the fact that he doesn't want to answer is pretty much tantamount that he doesn't know the answer until he has demonstrated he knows the difference.
Hopefully I'll get to say something in here without me being
If you're not listening,
and having my
point that straight
taken away
out.
from me in here. Well, I'm just saying though, like, you don't believe in slavery, but you certainly believe in censoring and stopping people from speaking their minds.
Yeah, this is my hangout, and I can stop whenever I can stop you whenever I want to.
You do believe in slavery, then you do believe it's right.
That has nothing to do with slavery. Are you going to make everything slavery?
It is slavery. If you're stopping me from talking right now, and I can't do nothing until you say
Are you a grown-up?
Let everyone else
I'm sorry, that's not slavery. You need to find out what the definition of slavery is before you start trying to fucking talk about it.
Eve, listen to me, Eve. You're scared of the truth. Everyone on YouTube knows it. You don't let no one talk on your channel because you are afraid of people who disagree with you.
Grow up, G-Man.
I learned something. I learned something new talking to G-Man every day. Now censorship is slavery. We should, fix that in our amendments too.
It's slavery.
The same black guy that's on YouTube saying that he's the only person on here with an education. I'm feeling kind of ganged up here.
I invited what's that guy's name that was commenting with
Guys,
you, teacher?
Censorship is slavery, according to Gman.
Would you like to respond to what I just said in the meantime?
No, I don't have to. I already did the math.
Censorship is slavery.
Jeff
right, Jeff. He wasn't listening for you.
You're a leader. I'm a
Hey, prove that you were listening and just respond.
No, I don't have to. You want you want me to move? I'm not doing it.
You can tell by your body movement that you weren't listening.
No, I find it comical that none of you know what slavery is.
Hey, hold on. We're not the ones explaining it.
So none of them.
But you know what? Since your ancestors was the one who.
Nobody here knows what slavery is. Only G-Man knows what slavery. Everybody else hasn't got a clue. Now he's about to say something about their ancestors. Let me take that back. I'm curious to hear what G-Man has to say. This is an old video, guys, but unfortunately, his ideas are still the same till this day, even worse now.
I'm a moderator.
Hey, prove that you were listening and just respond.
No, I don't have to. You want to summarize what I'm saying? You want me to move? I'm not doing it.
You can tell by your body movement that you weren't listening.
No, I find it comical that none of you know what slavery is.
Hey, hold on. We're not the one conflating it with censorship. Sorry.
But you know what? Since your ancestors was the one who enslaved my people, I mean, I'm not surprised that you don't know nothing about it.
Are you kidding me?
You don't know anything about my ancestors.
Since your ancestors were the ones that enslaved my people, I'm not surprised that you do not know anything about it. Just throwing jabs at people. Very unnecessary. That was very unnecessary.
For one, you don't know anything about my ancestors, and for another, you don't know how much I've looked into, and I probably know more about the shit than you do, Sal.
Would your ancestors tell you saying this shit? Would your ancestors be proud of you saying that there's not a slavery?
What does the Bible say as a whole?
Indeed.
What does the Bible say as a whole regarding slavery, since you know so much?
I'm sorry, Gary. Someone else is speaking right there. You want to wait your turn?
Oh, you don't know anything.
I'm sorry, Gary. Someone else is speaking right there. Would you like to wait your turn?
I can wait my turn. I know you guys are just trying to use me to vent your anger because you guys got nothing better to do with your lives.
I'm sorry. Someone was
Like the insults and the
one Christian against 9. Wow. Why am I surprised? That's why you guys cannot be trusted.
Like
Keep proving me right.
Wow.
Keep proving me right.
Or like
Go ahead, Wolf. You were wanting to talk.
Okay. Let me just respond to what he said about the whole credit card thing. Apparently, since we're not going to get an answer from him. Okay. You could pay back your debt any type of way. You can just like what Mark said. Like the whole thing with going back to the Old Testament. In that case, you're talking about a case that's only for a specific person, like a Jew owning another Jew. Okay, for other tribal people, that's not. There are different values put on different people.
Amen. Quit interrupting.
You interrupting?
Oh, now you want to respond? Let me finish. All right, now I'm talking. Okay, for other tribal people, they it's not the same thing. You could purchase them, you could keep them, you could sell them off. You could trade, you can inherit them as property, for future generations. And for the Hebrew slave, if you give them a wife and kids, and if he loves them, he could become a slave forever, right? In that tribe. So this isn't a nicer form of slavery. It's pretty much the same damn thing, and that's why modern society actually rejects it because it's subjectively wrong.
Okay, so where's your proof in the scripture that
exactly Robert X?
You could actually read it in the Old Testament. It's in there. You want me to give you the verses or?
Yeah, go ahead with that.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Since I got you going now.
It's in the book of Titus.
Yeah.
Oh, you've got a Bible now. I thought you lost it. It's funny when you need the Bible most, you didn't have it.
Have we established that the Bible is a reliable source of information or history or anything else for that matter?
I'm still waiting on a bibliography for the Bible.
I don't see any reason to.
Yes, because if you're gonna laugh, people are trying to talk. I don't have to make
whatsoever.
Any help for that. Yeah, you're gonna find out about yourself.
Hey, Gman, I don't
ignore you. So
I don't have to make you look like a fool because you do a good job of that.
Let me show you my new practice.
Capable of doing that yourself.
Let me show you my new practice. There's no blocking your behind, okay?
Oh no, I believe they'll be calling time for an unruffle.
That's so terrible.
Okay, you're done.
Notice that 9 atheists, one Christian ain't talking, and they're talking about a book.
What you coming for then?
Hello, Gman, shut up for 2 seconds. I'm trying to tell your stupid ass that I freaking did it for you. I got to the 2 verses you asked for. Okay, you see it now? It's in Leviticus 25, 44 to 46, and Exodus 21, 2 to 6. All right.
I've got a link to the whole lot of it in the side chat as well. All of them.
So why don't you theologian? What's your answer on that?
More than likely, he's not listening.
No, he's left.
The answer is probably
Okay, right. So let's go here. Right. So it looks like someone, Mississippi Wildlife, has made a video. 1 second. Let me do this here. Good. Guys, you heard it. Gman says God caused a lot of good to come out of slavery. God. Can you hear me? Did you hear the video? Right. Okay. To be honest, I didn't hear what a disgusting dialogue they were using by saying things like giving the slave a wife That's an incredibly arrogant attitude. Yeah. I think G-Man sometimes just gets people to a point where they just start to, and that's why I'm not keen to have a conversation with G-Man. I like to compose myself. I like to have conversations where we can have very healthy dialogue. Anything outside of that, I'm not keen at all. I can only just review his videos, but otherwise, I don't like anyone to get me out of myself. No, no, I don't like that at all. No sound. Oh, sorry, guys. I think. Hang on. Right, let me go do this here. No sound. So this video says, "Thank God for slavery." Okay, so start over again.
Hello, you crazy people. How the hell are you? First of all, G-Man, I have no hate in my mind for you whatsoever. I don't hate you as a human being, but somebody has to point out that you're being illogical. You're not using logic and reason. And here's the first clip.
I forgive everyone for what they did in the transatlantic slave trade.
And first of all of those people have long since been dead. For a very long time, forgiving dead people is silly. It makes no sense. Here's your second clip.
I believe that God caused a lot of good to come out of it.
So stop complaining about the slave.
Yeah, guys, G-Man says God caused a lot of good to come out of slavery. God. People are still suffering from the effects of slavery till this very day. Racism. A lot of things happening as a result of the slave trade that's been ended many years ago till this present day. And one Christian somewhere says God caused good to come out of slavery. I don't know what good can come from slavery. I don't know. I don't know. I remember seeing a video where one pastor was saying about the pastor was talking about the benefits of slavery.
Slave trade and start thanking the people that did it, because you're better off now. You make no sense. You say you forgive them. Hell, you should be thanking them. Your logic and reason is out the window. Third clip.
There's a more to this subject than you guys are saying, well, your God condoned slavery in the Bible. Your ancestors did. Your ancestors probably enslaved some people.
Do you know how many white people that fought and died to end slavery? Why you're complaining about, well, white people enslaved us. Yeah, it happened a long time ago, but a lot of white people went to the grave so you could have freedom of speech. And in my opinion, to be a complete idiot.
Okay, let's see here. Gosh. Right, there's a little clip here, and let's see if we can play this. And here, G-Man, once again, nothing wrong with owning people, G-Man. I don't know.
Slave trade, we would have to get specific about what laws you're talking about and which laws goes directly against what the Bible says.
I'm talking about the owning people, having to use a different bathroom.
There's nothing wrong with owning people. See, here's the thing. There's nothing wrong with owning people. It's what you do with the people that becomes the issue.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with owning another person?
Nope.
Guys.
So tell me something. When Indigo went on Von Helton's channel and was talking about the slave owners and who owned the most slaves and who was responsible for the slave trade and whatnot, I guess she was telling the truth about that. When she came on my channel talking about how she hates black people and she wants them dead or whatever, that's why she moved where she is, I guess that was okay too then, I guess, right? I mean, you guys are on that side. I don't see one video on YouTube by the atheist community where they are condemning those words. Not one. Now, that's right. You're laughing at me. Great. I'm glad you are. You don't care about racism in America. That's why you're laughing at me.
Loobis, tell us.
Condemn those comments. I condemn anyone who turns their back on their own race. But I do believe in stereotypes. Check this out. A white cat. Nothing black in this house.
Oh, Loobis. Okay, guys. That's it. Whew. My goodness. Guys, what are your thoughts about... Did you guys see Loobis's white cat? Oh, no, you guys didn't see. Wait, hang on. I think that comment was on the thing. Let's go back. Let me show you Loobis's cat. Oh, let's see here. Sorry, guys. You guys didn't see it. That cat looked really adorable in the corner there. Let's see.
Went on Von Helton's channel and was talking about the slave owners and who owned the most slaves and who was responsible for the slave trade and whatnot. I guess she was telling the truth about that. When she came on my channel talking about how she hates black people and she wants them dead or whatever, that's why she moved where she is, I guess that was okay too then, I guess, right? I mean, you guys are on that side. I don't see one video on YouTube by the atheist community where they are condemning those words. Not one. Now, that's right. You're laughing at me. Great. I'm glad you are. You don't care about racism in America. That's why you're laughing at me.
I condemn those comments. I condemn anyone who turns their back on their own race. But I do believe in stereotypes. Check this out. A white cat.
Guys, did you see Loobis's cat? Oh, that's one healthy looking cat. Right, guys. Someone asked the question in the chat. Let's dissect this. So, hello, Jennifer. Jennifer Kite says, what can we do as fellow humans to improve the mental health system in America and globally? I would say talking about it. Talk about mental health. A lot of people don't even recognize that they're going through a mental health disorder. A lot of people they just think, for most folks, we're taught to just get on with things. When things are hard, just get and move on, chop, just do it. Nobody teaches you how to have a healthy mental space, to have that, just being able to deal with things mentally, how you process them in your head. You're not taught these things. You're supposed to just get on with life. And so when you have a breakdown, people cannot really relate, because where do you begin? How do you, if you have not experienced a mental health breakdown? I remember Years ago, when I was in the marriage, going through depression, said to my ex-husband, "Oh, I think I'm depressed." He said, "Depressed?" He said, "Just go and watch TV or something. How can you be depressed? What does that mean?" He says, you could not understand what it was to be just go watch TV, go do something with yourself. Are you talking about being depressed? So we need to talk more about it. We need to keep highlighting these issues. So what are your thoughts, guys? Let's see. Gman's just an idiot. Don't know how anyone could side with him or give him any respect for the way he conducts himself. Quentin, I agree. And especially now, the way he is running riots now. Quentin, have you seen him lately? Have you seen Gman lately? Gman is now threatening to kill people. He's gotten so bad. Don't know how anyone takes him seriously. And education in the US and education, that there's work that needs to be done. Absolutely, I agree with you. Cat alert. Yeah, very lovely looking cat Loobis has there. What do you think of this? Gman is a living rabbit hole, and he hasn't come out in a long time. You may have a point there, Knox and Vulpen here. You may have a point there. I think there's a lot to, it is a difficult topic. Yes. Juad says, I condemn his racism and G-Man's bigotry as well. Yes. And I second that. Juad White, 100%. I second that. It's been the information age for long enough now. Shall we move the world forward into the mental health age? How about we move the mental health age along with you need information. You cannot go very far without the information age. You need the information age to also move along with the mental health, because how else would you know that you're going through these problems without that information to back it up? Well, not just any information, information from Bibles or from Qurans or from all these ancient holy books. No, updated work, materials that have been investigated, that has been scientifically proven, not just any information. Destigmatization is a huge part. Mental health discrimination instructs that you have no part in society and you automatically become a leech on the system. You become a leech on the system. Well, that's something. And can you imagine what that would do if you already had the mental health problems and then you're being told that you are a leech on the system? What impact will that have on your mental health? It will have it would just make things 100 times worse. I think I don't know. This is one subject that, and anyone, absolutely, you see, mental health disorders is no respecter of persons. No one is beyond having a mental health disorder or breakdown, or just anyone, rich, poor, educated, non-educated, wherever you live in the US, you live in the UK, live in anywhere, no one is exempt. I'm not saying everyone will have a mental health disorder, no, but it can happen to anyone. Anyone. I haven't seen literal death threats. Yes, Quentin, there. I've done a video on here. They have he's been on a the slope he's going down on is dangerous, absolutely dangerous. JG says, to improve the mental health system in America, you need to vote for people that advocate for single payer health care. That's interesting. Because then you go into politics, and I stay away from politics. But then you'll have to get to the point of, oh, we've got to vote this person. Because one thing about politics, no matter how good these parties and politicians are, they'll always have some parts of them that are questionable. There will always be something that the other side will find to use as something they can go against. There was Trump, and there was his other Biden. There was Trump, there was Biden. Yeah. Okay, people voted in Biden, but then Biden, I don't know. Would you guys say he's done a fantastic job? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I heard him wanting to beat some people up or to advocate not hold. Oh, he's got worse, Quentin. He's got worse. Many who have mental health issues actually deny the existence of those issues in themselves and others. Denial. Oh, I feel like if you deny those issues, it's like pushing them under a rug. Momentarily, it just goes under a rug because you denied it. But what will happen is there's only so much you can push under the rug. It will come out eventually. And when it does, that's when problems occur. We can do better as people. And we shouldn't, I think, okay, I'm going to speak because I have done studies on counseling. I'm still in the process of getting my qualifications to become a therapist. We have a responsibility to ourselves. We all do. Not so much children. Children, if you've got children, I mean, you have a responsibility to children. But as an adult, you have a responsibility to take care of your mental health. Don't wait for things to spiral out of control. You need to, when you recognize you need to take a break, take a break. If you feel like things are getting a bit too much for you, just go ahead and, just take a holiday. Relax. Simple things like have your nails done, put some makeup on your face, make yourself look nice for a day, for just do something to improve the feelings. Those good feelings that you get, endorphins they call them. There are things that you can do to boost those endorphins. So we have a responsibility to ourselves. You have a responsibility to yourself. Gman is a complete idiot. I can agree. At least that he's an incomplete. At least that he's an incomplete idiot. Single payer and Medicare for all would be a huge step. So, Ren, that's the beauty about the UK. But as with everything, NHS, it's overstretched. It's overstretched now. There was one time there was talks of privatizing the NHS, because here in the UK there's free medical for all. Although when you pay your taxes, your you're somehow the money's coming from your taxes. Somehow you are paying into the health service, but it's free at the point of delivery. But then, as with everything that is free, it starts to have its own little problems. Before you can get seen by a doctor, you could wait ages, because of course it's a free service. And so one time they were talking about privatizing the NHS. I don't know if they'll get very far with that, privatizing the free service. It's I don't know. I'm not in support of them privatizing the NHS. The information is so important. We can't see the patterns, the good and the bad, without the information. Absolutely. We need the information. We need the information. And you see, guys, these are conversations that we need to have. When I came out of Christianity, I developed a mental health disorder. I went into a deep depression because I felt like I'd lost my identity. I did not recognize who I was without the God factor. But I didn't believe, and I was not prepared to deceive myself anymore. But it had a huge, huge toll on me because there was no one to talk to. There was no one to talk to. Nobody. Everyone around me is religious. So having this space where I can talk about things that matter to me, things that it's like relearning how to exist in this world. I've been here 40 years. 40 years. And then all of a sudden, I don't believe in this thing anymore. And now I've got to sort of learn new ways of living. There's no need to pray anymore. There's no need to, it got so bad that going out, God, go with me as I go out. I come back in. Thank you, Lord, for bringing me back in. Simple things. I'm worried about something. You grab the Bible, just go and read, go and look for the passages that talk about worry, and then you read, and that will calm you down for the minute. You'll be surprised how the belief is, part and parcel of you. It's like completely wrapped in to you. So when that belief system is you no longer identify with it, it's like you're lost. I don't know if any of you ever experienced that, but my goodness, it was real. And the therapists around here, they do CBT, they kind of, not many of them really deal with people who are leaving religion. And that's one area I'm going to focus on. I want to specifically be a therapist helping people out of religion. That would be a specialty for me, because there's a lack of counselors and therapists who deal with people leaving religion and those feelings. So yes, sorry guys, just I know I've been ranting. My mom had a high paying, high demand corporate job. She drank her way through life, including raising me. When she retired, it was only she and the bottle, and she had a breakdown at 68. Can you imagine at 68? At 68. Oh, where do you begin? I will say the isolation from lockdowns, from the pandemic, has started a much larger conversation on healthy work and life balance. Jennifer, I think that it's not over yet. It's not over. The effects from the isolation, the pandemic, there's still a lot going on. People lost loved ones. grieving takes a long time to get over. There's a lot still. People are still battling a lot on the offshoot of lockdown, the isolation, the world has had to change. We have been forced to change. We have been forced to adopt new ways of living, new ways of looking at things. And this virus hasn't gone away. It is still there. So guys, please be careful. She ended up coming through it. Oh no, I lost her last year at 80, but she was a very happy and fulfilled old lady who managed to get the point of a glass instead of a bottle. Oh, nice. Nice to hear. Nice to hear. Nice to hear. It's time for us to treat the mental health problems the same way we do the physical ones. In a nutshell, destigmatization. You know something? I think we as a people, we need to also check ourselves. What are your thoughts about mental health in others? Not just yourself, but in others. Let me take this off so you guys can see me. You know, it's easy to be the one who is looking down on people with mental health disorders. You can look at someone and just see them, there's nothing wrong with them, and just assume there's nothing wrong with you. Come on, get your lazy ass, off you go. Children, our children, you know, I was talking to my son the other day, didn't want to go out, didn't want to do anything, doesn't want to play, and just from nowhere just asked, are you depressed? And he said, maybe. And I knew then that, okay, everything has to stop. We've got to deal with this. Imagine if I had said, come on, lad, let's just force him out the house and not try to understand what was really going on in the background. Children also can suffer mental health disorders. It can happen to anyone. So arguments over a simple mask gave me anxiety about the country I call home. Can you imagine the mask? That thing became a thorn in people's flesh. The mask. I did not like wearing it, but I had to. Every time I put it on, I felt like I was losing air. But you had to put it on. God, the mask became a huge deal. The anti-vaxxers. As someone with a very rare condition, the healthcare for all doesn't work. It doesn't. It can be great for normal everyday illnesses. But anything important, no, we would rather have private pay. But Jennifer, you can afford private. You can afford private. What if people who cannot afford private? Imagine people who can't afford private and they've got rare conditions or lifelong conditions or life debilitating conditions. What would they do then? I think for people who can afford it, if they want to go private, that's absolutely fine. But at least have that, the other option. Have the other, because not everyone is blessed to have lots of money. No. I know people would pay anything for your health. People you would, pay. But some people just haven't got it. Just haven't got it. And there's some conditions that you have that there's just no choice. It's not, you haven't brought it on yourself. It's just something that's come on. Okay, look at people who are born with the sickle cell disorder. There's just nothing they can do. It just comes natural. masks became a political issue. Absolutely. Absolutely. We need something that is an integrated solution for all issues, not just the common ones. Absolutely. I agree. I agree. Okay, Unit 666. Right. See you later. I get triggered when someone bless me because I sneezed. Do you now? Khalifa, I still do this myself. I still, when someone sneezes, I still say bless you. And I might see a young baby looking, so nice, and I say, oh, bless him or bless her. I still do it. Ooh. The terror of knowing what this world is about. Some good friends screaming, let me out. That's a song, right? That's a song, Queen. To clarify, I'm not saying that common issues aren't important, just that they aren't important to your individual needs. I understand. And you being able to afford private takes the pressure away from the public health system, right? So that's also a thing. This is a legit queen. Oh, thank you. You are so kind. You are so kind. But seriously, guys, we have a responsibility. Yes, just checking in. Hello, Danisha. I'm currently at work. Yes, on this. Oh, Danisha. Oh, bless you, Danisha. Oh my. Great reaction, Esther. And he's going to remember that positive reaction later on in life. Yes. It's constant. It's a constant. You've got to checking on your mental health, checking on the kids, checking on, but don't see, just, there's only so much that you can do. With mental health, there comes a point where you've got to get the professionals in. You cannot use a book to try and solve mental health disorders. You can't. You might go online, find a few videos that might help, but there might come a time when even the videos online, the books will not help. You need professional help. And when that time comes, please do not fail. And I'm going to be specific here. For the men, when I say men, I mean people who identify as male. Please do yourselves a favor. Men, a lot of men are taught to, just be a man. They say, be a man. Men don't cry. Men don't go through all these problems. I remember my ex telling my young son, he was crying, why are you crying like a girl? Boys don't cry like girls. I'm like, hello, no, don't say that to him. Boys can cry too. Girls can. I'm telling him that, why are you crying like a girl? As if only girls cry. So for people who identify as male, please, I know most of you are taught to be a man, just be strong and, brace yourselves. Don't, please. Your mental health is important. Anti-mask movement. That man, gosh, I saw a video of him recently. Gosh. I will appeal to Jennifer's previous question. To improve the healthcare in the USA, we must lobby for more robust legislation to provide care, even raise the threshold for qualifying for Obamacare. Raise the threshold, right? Okay, interesting. I'm not in America, so I wouldn't be able to comment much on. People Thulu. Hello, People Thulu. It takes work with professionals, but it is worth the work. Please let yourself feel and process your lives. Life is short, and this one existence we have, one existence. Your mental health, very important. It's estimated that it will take roughly $40 billion to radically fix the homeless problem in the US. The top 5 billionaires in the US combined have I've actually heard someone saying it should be illegal to be homeless. It should be illegal to be homeless. I don't understand. How do you make homelessness illegal? How do you enforce homelessness as a crime? Why not provide services that will prevent people from being homeless and not penalize them for becoming? Things can happen. Things can happen. The mighty can fall. Things happen. Things happen. Boys don't cry. Yeah, my ex said to my son, "Oh, why are you crying like a girl? Boys don't cry. Boys don't cry." A better level of education would be a bonus across America, just saying. Across the world, people Thulu. Across the world. Across the world. Across the world. A better level of education, you know. And thank goodness for the internet, I think, and the University of YouTube. And, you know, YouTube has helped a lot of people, like it or not. When YouTube first came out, I was people sharing videos. I was, oh, okay. But then with time, I started to realize the importance of having videos, the little things. You can learn to cook on YouTube. You can learn electronics on YouTube. You can learn music instruments on YouTube. You can learn to be a great speaker on YouTube. You can learn to sew. You can learn to do just about anything. So yes, I appreciate having this platform and other platforms as well. Can you imagine? Most of you, you would never know who I was. We would never come in contact with one in a million years. Some of us, our paths will never cross. But because of this platform, at least we get to share some kind of space. It's wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. It's wonderful. I have a few minutes. I know if. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. I know a few evangelical Christians who say exactly that. It should be illegal to be homeless. They think homeless people are lazy and should be off the streets and not in jail. Randolph, not in jail. Not that extreme. Come on now. Come on. Why are some people just very not in jail? Come on. I get it. There's some of the homeless people I see here. You can tell these are people who have made themselves deliberately homeless. When I say deliberate, they've got drinking problems and drug addictions and things that they're struggling with. They've been provided with shelters. They've been provided with a place. But those shelters have strict rules. No alcohol, no drugs in the rooms, no, but they flaunt the rules all the time. They break the rules. They must drink, they must use drugs, they're so unruly. They do things that, and eventually they're kicked out of these shelters. They're kicked out of these places. So those people, you would say they're deliberately homeless. But there are people who are not. They're not deliberately homeless. Things have happened. Someone has died in the family. They've had to pay for so many, unexpected deaths. When my mother died, nobody saw it coming. No one saw it coming. And we had to everyone had to contribute. And now it's time to go put her headstone. The headstone alone, they're saying it will cost about, it's a good amount of money. And all 4 children of hers, we all have to contribute equally for her headstone. You know, this is an expense. No one saw this coming, but it's got to be done. She deserves a decent headstone. She deserves an absolutely decent headstone. So very soon we've got to go make sure she's got a decent headstone over in Africa. She's make sure she's yeah, that's what we can do for her. But things happen. Homelessness is illegal in Norway, but you don't get punished. The government does. Norwegian must provide all care, no exceptions. Wow. Wow. Some countries, we could learn from some of these countries, I tell you. We can learn from, I love that we have access to so much information. Yes, we have access, but are we, Jennifer? There's access to information, but what information are you accessing? Who are you listening to? Are you fact checking the information that you've got? Someone sent me a link recently. Hang on, let me see if I can. Someone sent me a link. It's an organization. They've got a website where, oh no, oh sugar. Yes, I'm not sure if they're UK based or, let me put this in here so it's so this is a an organization that they have, it's like a fact checker for any information. For, you can just type in whatever, just claims that are made by people. You can go there and go and verify if indeed this is accurate information. So it's not so much accessing the information, but it's accessing the accurate and the factual information. Because let me tell you, there's all sorts of information out there, all sorts. Unverified claims. Anyone can put any information out. Anyone. Hello, Lucian Corvinus, son of Hecate. Did Gman make a response to the live? No, he hasn't. He hasn't. He hasn't. Ugh. He'd better not. One shift in the US stock market can send people of all age groups onto the streets. So the stock market has that much power. And greetings to you too. Greetings. I don't see how the system in Norway can work in the US though. Right. There's a lot of things to consider, right? A lot of things to consider. Oh, they just need to send the homeless west in the US. That's why Cali has the issues we do. So just move them along. Move them from one end so they become someone else's problem and not our problem. It's everyone's problem. It's everyone's problem. Several folks who chose homelessness over their own health. Jennifer, let me ask, what caused them to choose homelessness? Was there something on the line? Could it be, I'm curious, could it be drugs, alcohol addiction? Could it be, I know young people, 16, 15, 14, I want to go and be with my boyfriend. They run away. They want to go hang out with friends. They run away from home. That sort of thing. Could it be something like that? Did I miss the Gman review? Oh, you missed it. You've missed it, people Thulu. I feel you. Oh, thank you. You've missed. People who are homeless have hurdles that anyone else not homeless cannot understand. So the judgment that implies it's easy not to be is limited and without verity or understanding. In the US, approximately 40% of bankruptcy are caused by catastrophic healthcare costs. To live, you must pay. Guys, okay, let me ask very naive question, but I'm going to ask it. The people in addiction issues. Okay, for those of you who live in the US, do you ever worry, like if you get ill, if anything happened, do you? Everyone worries. Don't get me wrong. Everyone worries. But I think here in the UK, you sort of know when you go to the hospital and you're ill, there's no choice. They will look after you. They will. Quality of care might be a bit because it's a free service. So, but at least the NHS is not everything it's made out to be. It's not 100%. It has its issues. It has its problems. But I think they still try. They still try. So, okay, untreated, right. Says it's a constant struggle affording healthcare in the USA. I bet it is. Someone said that to get the ambulance out, you've got to pay to get the ambulance out to you. The ambulance will come out and take you to the hospital. Guys, is that true? Please tell me, is this true? That for the ambulance to come and get you to the hospital, you've got to pay. Please. And if yes, how much, roughly, how much do you think it costs just to, in an emergency? Okay, so wait, if on the highway an accident happens and the ambulance has to come and get people to hospital, who pays for that? I'm curious. Who pays? From my understanding, the British isn't free, it's just reason run. No, it's not free because you pay through your taxes, right? You pay through your taxes, but at the point of delivery of your healthcare, it is free at that point. But you pay through your taxes, and however they get the money somehow. You're paying somehow. It's not entirely free. You're paying through your, at the moment, your national insurance contributions, your NI, is 20%. So whatever money you make, you're paying 20% to, that's taken out of your paycheck. 20% of your, well, if you're earning below 50,000, I think it's £50,000 per annum. People earning over £50,000 per annum pay more, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's how it goes. Yeah, pays off on the end. Does it really pay off? You've only just shifted the problem the other way. It then becomes someone else's problem. So, wait, hang on. Did you say how much? $1,000 plus to get the ambulance to you. Wow. They bill you. So they bill you for the ambulance. So you're better off making your way to, if you can, you're better off just, goodness, guys. Ambulance is not a free service here either. Is this in Australia, people Thulu? What's Australia like? is Australia? Do you have a free health service in Australia? Is it Australia or New Zealand? People, please remind me. No healthcare can actually be free. Doctors and nurses need to get paid too. Yes. And imagine a world where healthcare professionals earn as much as footballers. I don't know. I've always had a problem with the money that some sports people earn. I don't know. They just earn some ridiculous amounts for playing a ball. And then the one who saves lives earns not so much. I don't know. That's something. They do bill you for the ambulance if you're on a plan or a state plan. I believe you get few gratis, but I'm unsure. If you simply allow doctors and nurses to draw on what is available, reasonable checks and balances, socialism. But could that be a system that might work in some cases? Taxes, and the government sometimes adds their portion, but usually what gets slashed first is social programs. Yes, that's something here in the UK. When the recession hit, a lot of social programs just went. Many programs for the youth, for children, everything just cut. Trying to save money, and so. We are fucking wet at the moment. Are you? I take it that they've been standard as being communist. Right. Australia. We have Medicare, but the government want to out of government. So it's encouraging people more and more to have everyone get their own private coverage. It kind of sucks. Like I said, here in the UK, there was a time when they were talking about privatizing the NHS. And I think that talk hasn't gone away yet, because every day you hear in the news, oh, the NHS is so outstretched. It's so, the burden on the NHS is losing money. Things are happening here and this and that. You hear all this. So that's something we still have to deal with in the future, I guess. And now with the virus and everything what's happened after that, it's taken a huge toll on the health service. It really has. When you ship the problem out, you don't have to then pay for the social programs and can't read that for them anymore. Medical, food, housing, etc. You can contact us and ask for a reduction or a write-off. The hospital pays. Oh, really? That's possible. Interesting. Wow. It's been raining for the past 3 or 4 months. Wow. Just rain. Goodness. But at least you've got the weather's nice over there, isn't it? I think it is. It also lightens up the associated costs and wear and tear of those bodies. Okay, guys, I've been here for 2 hours and 44 minutes. It's been interesting. For those of you who were not here at the start, we really had a good look at Gman and slavery. And guys, sorry, I know some of my subscribers are not keen on Gman. Some subscribers have told me, if it's a Gman, I'm not joining in. If you talk about anything else, I would join in. But guilty pleasure, I guess. I guess it's a guilty pleasure because he just reminds me of the place I was before. He just reminds me of beliefs that I used to share with him. And I think it's not going to go away anytime soon because I need to see how it all ends. I need to see how this, how far these beliefs that he has, where will it lead him to? Thank you. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that, Randolph, and fantastic live stream. I appreciate that. I appreciate. And thank you, each and every one of you, for joining in the conversation. These conversations cannot happen without all of you. Honestly, your contributions in the chat and just joining in. Honestly, because do you know what it is like to type? I don't know, some of you might be typing from your phone, from your tablets, from your computers. Do you know what it is like while you're doing your activities, getting on with life, you're still trying to engage? So I honestly appreciate you joining in on the conversation. Thank you very much. And yes, please, your mental health, you have a responsibility to yourself. You owe yourself, if anything at all, you owe yourself to check in on your mental health on a regular basis. If you need to take a break, take a break. If you have been prescribed medicines for your mental health, make sure to take them. If they need review, make sure to go and have them. Well, mine needs a review at the moment, but I haven't been because it's working okay. I'm doing all right. So they have asked me to come for a review, but everything's working okay. So I should go. I should book an appointment and go and see the doctor and at least have the conversation. The doctor might just say, okay, you know what, just carry on. You're on the very lowest dose, the very lowest dose. And if it's working okay for you, then yeah, just carry on. So guys, please. You think Gman is fake? I actually don't think he's fake. I actually think he's real. I think he is real. He is a liar. That he is. He's a hypocrite, and he would lie his way through questions and through judgment. He would lie his way. But fake, I don't know. Well, I think that so hard trying to type. How do you type with your nose? Pibo Thulu. How do you type with your nose? Okay, all right, Soren, I will go. My review has been due for over 3 months. The review of the tablet has been due for over 3 months, but because it's working great, what's the point? It doesn't bother nobody. But I should go because it's one thing to sit here and tell everyone, oh, take care of your mental health, check in on your mental health, and then I'm sitting here, review 3 months, I haven't been. It's like saying, do as I say, don't do as I do. No. I don't want to be that kind of person. I want to be one who lives by my words. When I say it, I do it, and not be a hypocrite. No. Soren, been watching him for People Thulu. Well said. Drag does a fantastic job. He does. The word for actor in ancient Greek is People. Right. I see. I see. Okay. Interesting. That's interesting. Okay, right. So he's an actor then. Yes. People Zulu. How do you type with your nose? With dexterity, difficulty, and aplomb. Dexterity, difficulty, and aplomb. Right. Now you've got me imagining things in my head. You've got me imagining things in my head. We appreciate what you do, Esther. Thank you. No, I appreciate you, Soren. People Zulu. People Zulu types with his nose. Mm-mm. Hey, Todd. Todd, because you're here, permission to play your tuba song. Permission to finish this live stream with your that tuba song was and is amazing. How Gman can listen to that unique unique compilation and make a mockery of that. Shame on Gman. He thinks it's that his stupid rap thing he calls that thing. Please, I actually watched the video where you put them all together. It was beautiful to watch. Beautiful. Oh, Thank you, Todd. Trust me, I've played it on here before, but I've got it here and I'm going for it. I am going for it. And well done, Todd, for all that you do. Well done. Honestly, you are a delight in the community. I've heard some of your story. You were once did you ever make it to becoming a minister, Todd? Because I know you were in seminary school. Did you make it to becoming a minister before changing course? Because I know now you work in a car thingy. Myself, I'd finished Pathways to Ministry. I was making my way to theology school. I never made it to theology school, but if I decide I want to go back to following that path, all I need to do is just a phone call and they'll happily have me. Come on. You know, I was going to go down that path myself, but I never made it to the actual theology school. I didn't. Because the more we open the books, the more we study the bread and butter, I'm thinking this doesn't make sense. The more you study the history of Christianity, it is everything just started to fall apart. Especially while we were studying, I would hear things like the books of the Bible. We assume, like the example, one book of the Bible, they would say, we assume John wrote this. We assume this. I'm thinking, hang on, how are you people assuming these things? Don't you know? So most of the things in Christianity is assumed. They assume these things. And Todd, I would love if at some point I would love for you to come and share. Just, because I'm a channel that deals with deconversion, Christianity, just talking about helping people on the journey of coming away from religion. Because I'm still on that journey myself, even though I'm just 3 years out, but it is a journey. It is a journey. And, Todd, I would appreciate you coming and just sharing with us, sharing your story. That would be amazing. In the meantime, let me go and look for do 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 do. There we go. The tuba song. Trying to find the song. The sun. I'm trying to find the sun. Oh goodness, what's happened? Can you guys still see me? Trying to find that song. So automatically. Gosh. I had the song on my playlist. Um, I'm so sorry. My internet is playing up. Who's been who's accusing who? Right, Todd's song. Please guys, if you can help. I was trying to find the song. Right. So Todd says, I took it upon myself to become an expert in biblical languages after that. Thought maybe I just didn't understand the scriptures. I've heard you speak, Todd, and I think you understand the scriptures far more better than many Christians. Many Christians haven't got a clue about their religion at all. I had to tell my home church that I no longer believe. That was hard. I did the same. The letter I wrote to the church, we read it here, and the response I got back, it was a four-page response. Oh my, it was dreadful. It was dreadful. The response from the Reverend Father to myself and the letter I'd written. Oh, it was dreadful. The response I got from them. So, yeah, I just want Gman to respond to the diss rap he challenged. I don't think he's going to do that. I don't think he's going to do that. I don't think so. Okay, I need the link for that song because what are you hiding? People feel he's such a naughty, very naughty person. Guys, be careful in the chat. Be careful. People Thulu is, goodness, why can I not get this video? What's happening? Something's happening. Something's at my YouTube thing's just not working. I'm not sure why. Okay, looks like it's working now. My YouTube link. Oh, Dragnot is live. Oh, it's time to switch over. Just need to find Todd's song. Why can I not find it? Or have I not spelled your name right? Is that what it is? I have. Ah, that's what it says. I spelled your name wrong. Sorry, Todd. So it's Todd Malikot. Oh, I'm so sorry. That's what it was. There we go. You see? Gman actually responded to your... Oh, no. You know what? My next live stream, we shall come in here and talk about Gman and his response to this beauty. Oh, okay, guys. So thank you all very much. We shall have a look at Todd's song. And Todd, I will contact you. I'm sure if there's a way to contact you, I'll contact you. And if you do not mind, I would love to have a conversation with you about your journey out of Christianity, out of the nonsense. What was it that did it for you? What was the moment that you realized it's all just nothing but a pack of lies? I would love to, especially people who took the religion seriously. For somebody to have made their way to seminary school or trying to to have better knowledge of the religion. Listen, those experiences, I don't take them, I don't joke with those experiences. And shame on Christians that tell you were never a Christian to begin with. What's all that about? They tell you, oh, you were never a Christian, you were never saved. Idiots. Bunch of idiots. So guys, enjoy Todd's song. And guys, I will see you all tomorrow.
How's everybody doing? Hello, everybody. Welcome to GTD. I am Gman, your host. The Bible says in Psalms chapter 14, verse 1, that the fool has said in his heart that there is no God. They are corrupt. They have done abominable works. And if you hear me calling somebody a fool on this YouTube channel that does not believe that God exists, I'm not being mean. Just go read Psalms 14:1. You'll see what the Bible says about people who don't believe that God exists.
Now sit right down so I can tell a little tale about a man-child from Jersey, all ashy and pale. His name is G-Man and he thinks he's all that in his worn-out Goodwill shirt and that stupid Jesus hat. Well, gee, you want a challenge? A real rap battle? I spit out ancient language like a resident of Babel. But I don't need to do that. We can do it like you talk with that in and on and on and man and no school and squawk. You're the fool. You're the fool, When it comes to public speaking, G-Man really is a wannabe, fumbling over words like anatomical autotomy. Audacity is famous, but have you heard him say vagina? I even heard him say he likes that funky cold Medina. He stole $3,000 and he gets those UTIs. He tries to debate with atheists, but just gets brutalized. Oh, that's right, he had a hard-on for Matt and Iran, but they don't even care. They're not even aware that he claims to have faced him and won. You're the fool. You're the fool. When it comes to the scriptures, G-Man thinks he knows them. He throws a few at atheists, trying to expose them. Well, guess what, G? Your exegesis is a joke. You're called to speak with gentleness, not lecture and provoke. So look that verse up, cause I know you don't know it. Takes an atheist like me to say you don't know Jack and show it. But even if you did, no one listens to you. With that stammering, stuttering, blathering, fluttering nonsense you spew. You're the fool.
Oh, the tuba. Woohoo.
So one more verse ought to lock this up tight. G-Man wants to battle rap but brings no skills to the fight. His rhymes are stale as last week's bagels from the corner, and I've heard more musicality in Little Jack Horner. Go and cry to Shanny and your boyfriend's Von and Veckel, then come back at me, G-Man, I'm the Hyde to your Jekyll. Can't wait for your response, cause I know it will be junk. You'll be clicking it, thinking it, stinking it like a nasty old skunk. You're the fool.
You're the fool. He is a fool indeed.
And remember, ladies and gentlemen, Jesus isn't coming back to judge anybody.
No, he isn't.
And when you die, that's it. It's over.
Dead,
whether you believe it or not.
Or not. Thank you. Oh, Todd, that's fantastic. Thank you. All right, guys, catch you. And Todd, I will be in contact. So everyone, watch this space. We will have Todd come and share with us. We will absolutely love that. Thank you, Todd. So, guys, thank you all, and see you again soon. I didn't know that G-Man, Randolph. G-Man nearly roasted himself alive. G-Man was trying to do barbecue. Right now, as we speak, some part of his eye hasn't got, I think it's the eyebrows. One of the eye, there's no hair. He nearly roasted. That guy is hopeless. He's hopeless. All right, guys. Good night. Night, everyone.